Welcome back to another episode of Genshin Impact Food. If you missed the first episode, you can watch it here. So with the new update, there's some new recipes going around, and there's one thing that really boggled my mind, and it was the Monstadt moon pies that you get at Reputation level 7. These look really good, but in the description, it's made of pickled meat and sweet meringue. That just boggles my mind. So I've decided to give it a try and see if it's tasty. Let's get cooking. We're going to start with the filling. So the filling calls for pickled meat, and the closest thing I have to pickled meat is Montreal smoked meat. It's delicious. So if you can't get something like this, maybe you can try for a ham. I think that's the closest thing you can get to pickled meat. And for a good measure, we're gonna add in pickles as well. So with the smoked meat, I'm going to chop it into little pieces. Okay, so we have some diced meat. We're just going to put that into a bowl. So the meat's in the bowl, and we're going to add a whole pickle. And for the pickle, we're going to dice that very finely. So we've got the pickles and we've got the meat. We've got to make the meringue now, which is honestly the craziest part. I struggle a lot with thinking about how this recipe would work. So if you look at the photo, there's a bit of a thick crust, and you can maybe guess that that's meringue, but there's no way you can keep the shape of a meringue when you're baking it in like a pastry shell, because this recipe also calls for butter and flour, so obviously it's a pastry shell and not just meringue. So what I decided is that to hold all your fillings together, we're gonna make a sweet meringue to do that. And it's gonna be crazy, it might not taste good, but if this is what the recipe calls for, I'm going to do it. So let's prepare that. Okay, now we're going to separate one egg to its egg yolk and egg white. Put the egg white in a larger bowl. And remember to keep the egg yolk, because that's going to be our egg wash for our pastry later. And now we're just going to whip out our egg whites until it's frothy. And I'll be back and we'll add the sugar later. Okay, so our egg whites are just a little frothy. I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar. I know the recipe says that the meringue is sweet, so maybe it calls for more than a teaspoon, but we're not gonna, go too crazy here. So a teaspoon should be enough. And we're going to keep whipping this. So here's the meringue. It's a nice stiff peak. As you can see here, pastry ready. But now we're going to mix this meringue into your meat and pickle mixture. Oh geez, this is like macarons from hell. Now we're going to gently fold in our meat and pickles. Alright, this is terrifying, but here is our filling. It's done, and let's fill some pie. So right here I have a already pre-rolled puff pastry sheet. Okay, I'm going to use this as my guide. I'm going to trim all around this as a circle. So we're going to put our filling right in the middle here. So I'd say half of it, because we're going to make 2 of these. Wow. And then we're just going to lay crusts on top. I think maybe I'll follow the line of the circle and it'll be pretty easy that way. Boom. Also on the top, there's like a little cute moon, so I'm gonna carve a piece. Here is the little moon on top. Okay, and on the bottom, it's pleated. That's not too bad, right? That looks like the photo. So I've wrapped up 2 moon pies Look at that. That doesn't look too bad, right? So with your egg yolk, you're just going to take a pastry brush and then give the surface of your pastry a good, nice, rich egg wash. So now the pies are nicely covered in your egg yolk. We can put it in the oven and bake it for, let's say, 15 minutes, and we'll take a look at how it looks. Wow, wow, wow. Won't you look at that? So I baked these for about 25 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and they look kind of amazing, not gonna lie. I thought these would turn out horribly. So let's plate them up and give it a try. I think there's a sprig of something, of coriander, and there's a sauce that goes around. I think it's some kind of caramel sauce, but that's gross, so I'm using a balsamic vinegar glaze, which ain't that much better, but whatever. Drag this down. So this is your Genshin Impact Monstadt moon pie filled with pickled meat and meringue. So let's give this a try. I'm so excited. So we can see that the meringue did not stay intact. Hot. This is delicious. I'm so surprised. Pickled meat and meringue is really good together. If I had a shield, it would be up, and my defense is all the way up. So I think I'll be making these a lot in game because I run Xingyan and Zhongli now. Good for me. And thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for new videos. I don't know when. Bye. Got you thinking.